Proportionality investigation, equations and stories. This is the equations part. So the very first thing it says, construct a table to determine if the following equations are proportional. So the first equation is y equals 4x plus 3. So on the first set, we take our 0 and we plug it into where x is. This gives me 4 times 0, and I add 3. Well, 4 times 0 is just 0, and then I have to add 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. Number 1. This one is 4 times 1 plus 3. Well, 4 times 1 is 4. I have to add 3, that gives me 7. Number 2. 4 times 2 plus 3. Well, 4 times 2 is 8. I add 3 to it, it gives me 11. If I continue this pattern, this gives me 4 times 3 plus 3. 4 times 3 is 12. I add 3, gives me 15. Here, 4 times 4 plus 3. 4 times 4 is 16. I add 3, it gives me 19. So if I look at this, the very first thing I have to see if it's proportional is, does 0 match with 0? And the answer is no. So I know that 4x plus 3 is not proportional right off the bat. Let's look at the next one. The next one is y equals 15x. So I go through the same process. Wherever there's an x, I put a 0. So that's 15 times 0. What is 15 times 0? Well, that's just 0. So automatically I know 0 matches with 0. Now I take 15 times 1. 15 times 1 is just 15. Now I take 15 times 2. 15 times 2 is 30. I take 15 times 3. 15 times 3 is 45. And I take 15 times 4, which is 60. So what do you notice about this? Well, every time x goes up by 1, y went up by 15. So the rate of change is the same. 0 matches with 0. So I know that the equation y equals 15x is the proportional one. I know that because 0 matches with 0 and the rate of change is consistent. What do you notice about this? To be able to determine the proportionality from an equation, you got to know that it has to be in the form of y equals a number times x. Well, we normally don't put number sign as a representative number. So we put k instead. So y equals kx. If it's in that form, there's no extra plus, there's no extra variables, none of that, then it's proportional. What's the constant of proportionality? What is it going up by? What's the unit rate? For every 1x, what does y go up by? Well, if I look up here, all I have to do is take y divided by x here. My change in my y, which is 15. My change in my x, which is 1. 15 divided by 1 is 15. Where else do I see the very 15? Well, don't you see the 15 in the equation? The equation of y equals 15x. You do. It's right there. So to determine the constant of proportionality from the equation, it happens to be the easiest way. It is the number in front of the x. It's the number that's in front of the x. So let's look at the practice. It says determine which of the following equations are proportional. Then determine the constant of proportionality, or unit rate, of those that are proportional. Number 1, y equals 12x. Well, 12x is a number times x. That's all it is. So this one's a yes. So I have to find my COP. Well, my COP is the number in front of the x. So it is 12. Number 2, y equals 7x minus 2. Well, it's not in the form of y equals kx. So this one is a no. The part that's bothering it is the minus 2 here. It's the extra. Number 3, y equals 1.5x. This one is a yes. Okay, my constant of proportionality is 1.5. Number 4, this one is also a yes. So my constant of proportionality is 3/5. Number 6, y equals 2.5x plus 4. This one is a no. And it's because of the plus 4 here. Number 6. This one is a yes. It is exactly like the others that are yeses. It's only y equals a number times x. And so my COP ends up being 6. Number 7 ends up being a yes. My COP ends up being a 1.2. Number 8 ends up being a no. And the reason behind that is that minus 3.